Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live that loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. It's Ken. And Ken, it's the morning. We have coffee in our hand, and we are definitely ready to tear some stuff up this morning. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Fred.
Morning there, Fred, and good morning to you, Ken.
And oh, do I want to tear some stuff up this morning. Because yesterday we go on about, the Bear Stadium, and how the state of Illinois went to committee and got this big package, and we were discussing it, blah, 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 blah. So here's what's happened since then. In just a wee 24-hour period of time. The state of Indiana passed all their stuff, got to the governor's desk. The governor signed it, boom. Hey, Chicago Bears. Signed, sealed, delivered. All you have to do is say, yes, we start. State of Illinois. We get through committee. We got this big package. We want to keep the Bears. We're going to break session, and we're not even going to talk about it, nor even try to have a vote on it on the first step of 3 that needs to be taken to get it done. And we're going to take about a 2 or 3 week break. You're not that important to us. You can wait a few more weeks. What the hell, Illinois?
Indiana Bears.
Dude, I saw that last night. That the state of Illinois legislative branch broke session until mid-March. So about 2.5 weeks. Or 2 weeks. I'm sorry. But if you're the Chicago Bears, you have to be sitting there going, you really don't care about us, do you?
This, all it does is go to further my fucking point of, with all this fucking screwing around by them, it's time to make the decision, move to Indiana, and at this point, especially after this last slap in the face, I'm removing the name Chicago from it, and I'm calling them the Indiana Bears. You want to sit here and piss in my face
actually,
like that?
No, Ken, you keep the name Chicago because you want to rub it in their face.
I don't want them getting any type of blaze from it.
In Indiana.
No, I don't want that.
Face.
Oh, I'm rubbing it in their face of that they used to be the Chicago Bears. You played all this fucking games. There ain't no way in fuck I would ever call it.
I mean, I don't want to change the team name
Okay.
because of all this, but it's like, how stupid do you have to be in the state of Illinois? Oh, but it gets even better, Ken. You would think that would be bad enough, but no. The state of Illinois says, don't hold my beer. You know what? Forget Florida, man. I'm going to up the ante even more because there's a massive push in Springfield right now from guess where? The city of Chicago to vote against it. Because the city of Chicago mayor and cronies are saying, well, if they're not going to be in the city, they shouldn't be in the state at all.
Well,
fuck everyone else.
Again, all you are doing is giving me further evidence to my point of fuck them and the whole city of Chicago. I would not attach my name to that for shit. They could give me the stadium now and pay me to be there, and I still wouldn't.
You know what's sad? It's not the fans' fault. This is the political arm's fault. The political machine of Illinois' fault. A state that taxes everything. The highest taxes in the friggin' country. They've lost so many people in the state of Illinois. And David White, if you want to hop on and cry your little fake tears and say I'm wrong, feel free, dude. because you're dead wrong. Because he keeps going, oh, Illinois is not losing people. They've lost so many people. They've lost a congressional seat. We went from 27 electoral votes to 26. That means you've lost somewhere between 750,000 and 1.5 million people have fled the state.
Oh, believe me, I get that. I live here in the great old state of New York. We're getting a whole bunch of people leaving.
These people are too busy drinking political Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, Mayor Johnson's a Democrat. I love the Democrats or whatever he says. No, motherfucker.
How about I don't give a shit which freaking color flag you're flying?
Yeah.
You're either going to do something for me, or you're going to stick it up, or you're going to stick it up our ass.
I mean, maybe I should put this in political terms so these numbskulls can understand. What the Illinois state government did to the Bears yesterday was the equivalent of what President Trump did to the Democrats on the State of the Union when he said, Congress, the U.S. government's first duty is to protect its citizens. Stand if you agree. And the entire Democratic Party sat down and didn't even clap, didn't stand, nothing. Looked at him like he had just I don't know, said that Martians are actually controlling the government. It was.
Well, I mean, if you listen to the parent address that he's going to be making here in a couple of weeks, that might be the next revelation.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what the files revealed. I'm waiting for what this is going to reveal now. Zeke Bork's in charge of everything.
Everyone in Illinois said, hey, state government, if you want to keep the Bears in Illinois, get it done this week. They said, nah, they're not that important. We'll wait a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. And now the city of Chicago has this delegation of people, and they're putting ads on Facebook and everything to vote against it. Oh, it's going to cost. And look, I have a good friend of mine. He's one of my former soldiers. Like, well, we got to, be careful with the taxpayers' money. We need to protect the taxpayer money. What the are you talking about? The state of Illinois protect our money? That's why they spend millions of dollars on hotels to put illegal immigrants in hotels. But we can't put infrastructure in Arlington Heights?
And Vinny, right now, I'd say it's about 50-50 public-wise. But I'm telling you, if I'm the Bears, it's now I'm 100% moving.
Vinny, if they were to move, I would applaud them for moving at this point after what the state of Illinois did yesterday. I mean, I thought, okay, cool. After yesterday, show them like the Bears that they got the proposal they wanted, right? I was a little more upbeat about it being in Arlington Heights. They own the land. They're going to own it all. Makes sense. And then the state of Illinois says, Florida man ain't got nothing on me. We're not going to talk about this for a few weeks because the Bears aren't that important. Dude.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. We don't need that. You think Ken talks about the Bears enough now? Holy shit. If he's within throwing distance of that, he's just going to dye his skin in blue and fucking orange.
Wait, Fred, let me see. I think I might have. When did you send me the video? Oh wait, there it is. Yeah, I saw it. That was hilarious. He did a Ben Johnson Sorrow video. It was a riot. I responded to you, Fred. Yeah, I mean, look, I would love if the Bears moved up. The Pensacola Bears has a nice ring.
Hey, good morning, Chad.
Good morning, Chad. I mean, Joe, yeah, Joe, forget Florida man, Joe, good morning. Illinois said, hey, Florida man, hold our beer. We can be better than you. I don't know if you heard that, as you're coming in, the state of Illinois, okay, so yesterday the state of Indiana got their budgeting package with environmental and everything to the governor. He signed it. The state of Illinois didn't even debate it on the floor of the House and broke session and are not coming back for a couple of weeks. They didn't even discuss it. They said, it's not that important. It can wait a few more weeks.
Man, and wasn't the supposed deadline the beginning of the month?
Today.
Oh, today. Oh, okay. Well, that should fucking be your decision maker right there. You gave them a deadline. They said, fuck your deadline.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Fred, that too, like the the Bears need to use private money. Stupid motherfuckers. They are using private money to build the stadium. But it is not the Bears' responsibility nor duty to pay for roads to be built in the city of Arlington Heights and the surrounding areas to improve that infrastructure. That is a function of government. It's not their job to put the water lines in. It's not their job to run the power lines either. They are paying for the entire sports complex. No state money required. None.
Joe, it sounds like Aspinall's fucking done.
He could always do the Bisping.
He could, but you gotta assume they're looking for that type of stuff now.
Dorn, I hate to say this, you're 100% right.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Because no, I said it yesterday too. So he's parroting what I said, but he's right because look at the Bears for 2 years when the city of Chicago said, "Look, we got to do something about Soldier Field. We want a new stadium." Lightfoot said, "Fuck you, pound sand. You're in Soldier Field. Deal with it." They said, "Okay, fine. We're gonna go buy Arlington Heights then." And they bought Arlington Heights, and then she said, "Well, you'll no longer be the Bears. You're not allowed to be the Bears. You're not the Bears unless you're in the limit." Blah 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 blah. I'm stupid. And so Brandon Johnson goes, "Well, this is stupid. We need to keep the Bears in Chicago." His entire platform he ran on to be mayor was, "I'm going to keep the Bears in Chicago." Well, guess what? Like every other Democrat, he failed at that too. And now he's trying to sabotage the Bears staying in the state of Illinois. And he's got these little talking heads. Well, the Bears shouldn't be using any public money to build their stadium. They're not. Well, I'm Brandon Johnson, and I say they should be using only public money. They are. They're only using their own money to build the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you know,
dude,
Brett, I'm right there with you.
Brett.
I might sit here and talk shit about the Bears till I'm fucking blue in the face, but I never would have expected them to leave Chicago. They're a staple of the NFL, but apparently not a staple to Chicago.
Yeah, but being a staple of the NFL doesn't mean that you're required to let the city bend you over and ass fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
you're a business. You're in business to make money. That's what this whole thing is about. And anybody who this is why I laugh. People talk about oh, where's the loyalty? The loyalty. It's like, dude, there was never any loyalty.
Nope.
It was an illusion that we as fans placed on the NFL. It has always been a business. It has always been about making money and only about making money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's only about making money. The sports.
Okay, 95% of it.
Yeah, but I agree with what you're saying, Joe. I mean, but look, this is the entitlement culture of the left. I hate to say it that way, but it is. Well, you should stay here because we're entitled to you being here. And the Bears you're not entitled to shit, dude. You're not entitled to us to stay in the state of Illinois. We can move if we want to, and you can't stop me. But we're going to sue you because that's what they do about everything. Oh, we don't like this law, so we're going to sue. Why? Because you lost an election, so now you're going to sue over what you lost? They're like a kid who, when you played a pickup game of basketball in your neighborhood, and you played a game of horse, and you beat him, and he would get mad and take his ball and go home. That's the Democrats. That's the state of Illinois right now.
I'm still waiting for the last minute bid to come in from London, and it's going to be announced we got the London Bears.
Why aren't you letting me ass fuck you?
I mean, just
you're supposed to just bend over and take it like everyone else.
The Democrat propaganda machine has been in full tilt because they've got all these articles. They're flooding their net with articles how ownership is mad at Warren, and they're giving Warren lectures and how it should be used. No public money should be used to build the stadium, and they're flooding the propaganda with the people about how the Bears are trying to rape the state, the city, and they're bad people, and McCaskey hates Warren and wants to fire Warren over this. Blah blah blah. None of what this is true. This is all the propaganda machine of the left because they're good at propaganda. We know this, and they're doing it. It's and now there's a contingency of lawmakers from the Chicago area, from the Chicago specifically, who are trying to torpedo any deal to get the Bears build in Arlington Heights. Here's the thing: the numbers and common sense. They want the Bears to pay $200 to $250 million a year in property tax. The highest property tax bill in the NFL is SoFi in Los Angeles, one of the most expensive places in the country to be, and it's only $9 million. Everyone else, even in the city of Chicago, is well below that. Wrigley Field about $3 million, the Cell about $3 million, United Center about $3 million, and they want the Bears to pay 20 times more.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at maybe
no, that's not 20 times more, Ken. That's about 75 times more.
Yeah, well, I mean, John,
actually,
I know where it's going.
It's actually about 83 times more.
That's just it. The statement that their priority is simple. I mean, dude, I hate.
I'm still with Fred on this shit.
Yeah, if I'm the Bears, I tell the city of Chicago, look, the fact that you didn't even bring it to a vote on the House floor yesterday, like,
even talk about it.
Look, here's what if I'm the Bears, I would be like, look, this is what I can do for you. I'm going to give you guys until you come back into session, and if your deal doesn't absolutely blow away Indiana's deal, we're taking Indiana's deal straight up.
Me personally, yep, absolutely. I'm not even giving them that time. And
I'm giving you 5 years of my life to figure this shit out. Indiana took less than 30 days.
Yeah, that's true. But there's a flip side to that coin. If you've given them 5 years, you can give them 2 more weeks.
Yeah, but
because
5 years
they might just come with a deal.
You're not important to us.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying you waited 5 years. Rarely is it good to make rash decisions, right? Like this Indiana thing came together really, really fast, right? Now, granted that it's partly because, or largely because, Indiana is motivated. They're ready to make a deal, right? Yep. But all I'm saying is it doesn't hurt the Bears to wait a couple weeks because the Indiana money is still going to be there. It's not like they're going to come back into session and be like, oh, well, we're just going to take the money back now. Like you can wait a couple weeks and just, they could tell Indiana, look, we want to just see if what's going on here with Chicago.
What I really hate though about this is how the Democrats in Illinois are trying to turn the fans against the team. And they're trying to do this well, the Bears are just trying to leverage against the fan, and they're trying to leverage. Well, first off, of course, they should be leveraging. It's a business. We all know this. They should leverage to get the best deal possible for the franchise. I mean, it's like, would you tell the Bears, like, well, you shouldn't leverage to get the best player in the draft. You should just take any player. No, You want the best player. The Bears want the best deal. I'm totally fine with that as a fan, right? As a rational fan who's not drunk on Democrat Kool-Aid. And I hate to be sounding so political today, but this has been becoming, like everything else with these people, uber political. It's a Democrat issue now. Like, if you like the Bears, you're a Nazi. I'm waiting for that to happen.
I might be able to get behind that one.
Dude, the way these lawmakers are talking about the Bears right now, these Democrats out of Chicago, that's basically what they're doing. They're taking their Trump doctrine and applying it to the Bears. It's like, guys, these guys make the state so much money and bring so much. Not only do they bring money to the state, it's the joy they bring to fans. Even when we lose, fans still go and enjoy the game, and it gives them a break from the daily life, blah, blah, blah. We know sports is, we know that these sports, that have a sports franchise is a big deal for a city. And these guys, it seems like they're doing everything they can possibly do to run them out of town because, George McCaskey votes red.
I think it's deeper than that. Like, I think there's that on the surface of it, but it's like, let's go to another sport, for example, boxing, right? When you have a boxing match and it's like a high level boxing match, right? You have press conferences, and what do the fighters do? They sit there and they talk shit about each other, and they say like, this guy, he used to steal steaks from grocery stores, and he like they paint the other person in a bad light, and they talk about what they're going to do to them. And then the second that the boxing match is over, what do? They hug it out, and on the microphone they're like, "No, it was never personal. It's only business." This is the same thing. This is the city of Chicago trying to use whatever leverage they have to try to get a better deal with the Bears. And the Bears aren't really firing back as much, though. That's the thing. That's
the thing, though, because the city of Chicago has no leverage.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They're trying to create leverage in a situation where they have no leverage. Like, you can't really blame them for that. Like, they're basically, because they wanted to ask fuck Chicago, the Bears, and the Bears said no, we're good. Like, now it's like they've basically pulled their covers. They have no choice but to try to create some leverage somehow. And it's not going to work, but I'm just saying.
Once again, I hate to be political about it, but this is the political playbook of the left. Create fake moral outrage. Create false narratives against the opponent, being the Bears now at this point, and then try to shame them in. And how dare you even think about leaving? Like, and you don't have a choice. Like,
right.
Make it like you have no choice. You have to do this. No, they don't, dude. That's like when they tell the federal government you can't enforce federal immigration law. Yeah, we can. And the Bears, and they're like, you can't move. And they're like, the Bears are like, yeah, we can. And it's like, if they would just come to reality and be like, look, businesses have choice. They have free will. You do not own, you can't just take the Bears over through eminent domain and say the Bears are now a state-run team. I love to see them try to take the means of production, being the Bears, and try to take the team over, because they would get just wrecked by the federal government, and the state of Illinois would be just dig a hole, because every money they'd ever make would go to the McCaskey family if they ever try to do that. I swear, I guarantee you, someone in some meeting there said, "Well, can't we just take the Bears over, like take the team for them?" I guarantee you, someone has said it, because this is the entitlement they think they have, and like it's not even as Indiana. As your opponent is pushing hard to sweeten the pot and to get the Bears to leave, and they sign in, the governor signs it, the package is done, everything we promised you, we're ready to go. As soon as you say go, shovels are moving. And what does the state of Illinois do? You're not that important to us. You have to wait a few more weeks.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, you really think that tells the Bears any kind of good faith or anything? That you had an emergency last-minute session in a committee to barely get it out of committee, and you don't even talk about it before you break for 2 weeks? Because, dude, if I'm the Bears, like, you know, the way city of Chicago is trying to get people to vote against this, I don't even know if the measure will pass in Illinois. They might not even be able to pass the mega spending project, because now the Democrats are all talking about, well, you know, we need, you know, you're getting we need to cut property tax for everyone, blah, blah. It's turning this a whole big shebang. Like, now, if we're going to give it for the Bears, we got to give it to every business. We got to give it to every person. We got to give it for all this, that. And so they're like talking on both, they're burning both sides of that candle. We want to tax more. We want you to pay more taxes. But wait, we can't give it for the Bears, because then we have to give for everyone else. And of course they can't, because then they can't fund all their shit. That's
the great thing, Fred, is I don't ever have to worry about that. My ownership paper that everybody likes to talk shit about comes in real handy with this. Yeah, it does. You get a vote on the board.
Yeah, but hostile takeover can always happen.
Nope, it is written to where you can only have so many shares. It is literally illegal to have any more.
He's not thinking tactically, is he?
You're just hoping for the downfall.
You know what this reminds me of?
No, Ken. What I'm saying is there's a way around that, and it's really simple to see. Oh, you're only allowed to buy 1%? Cool. Joe, you buy 1%. I'm buying 1%. Hey, Vinny, you buy 1%. Fred, you buy 1%, and we're all going to vote as a block. Hostile takeover.
Yeah, but the whole thing about you already have so many of them already out there.
It doesn't matter. I get a big enough conglomerate, I can do it. Nothing's impenetrable like that, dude. You got guys who raid all the companies all the time. If someone really wanted to raid the Packers, it could be done.
I'd like to see him try it with the way that it's written.
Dude, put the ego aside for a minute and think tactically. It could be done. I'm just saying it could be done. Any team that's publicly traded in any way, shape, or form, any business can be hostily taken over. That's done.
In the Packers fan, I'm surprised at you. Like you're Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen The Godfather, and you've seen The Godfather Part 2, right?
That
Don't you remember that scene where Michael Corleone said, if history has taught us anything, it's that you can kill anyone, right? Like if history has taught us anything, it's that you can hostile take over any business that's publicly traded. I'm not saying it's likely.
And you run a big enough smear campaign.
Remember Rocco? What did he say? He said difficult, not impossible.
I mean, and look again, and you run the propaganda machine out there to create public distrust or whatever. It could be done. It's not impossible. I
don't think it's likely, but I think
at best, to me, you're talking a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely, but it's possible. But this thing with Chicago and the Bears, what it kind of reminds me of, I saw this video on this meme on it was this thing on Facebook. It was a screenshot. This girl was like, this guy asked me out and I told him no. And then he had the audacity to just say like, oh, okay, well, thanks then, and move on. Like he didn't even try. Like that's what this thing with Chicago kind of reminds me of. It's like the Bears asked, you said no. So they said, okay, well then we'll go move on. And now you're like, but why didn't you at least try to fight for it? Like, it's like,
because the flip side of the coin is if you try to fight for it, now
you're a rapist and a creep. Yeah. Like that's the whole point is like, you're a weirdo, right? Like I told you no, ew. Like that's the whole thing is the Bears or the city of Chicago wants to be that girl. Like why didn't you fight for it?
And Joe, now they're like the other video I just saw one the other day, the other side of that coin. The girl that was rejected went back to the guy trying to get with him. He's like, no. And she can't figure out why. Well, you wanted to a day ago. Well, that was a day ago, and you said no. Now I moved on. But why? Really? I mean, those two videos explain the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois right now. We told you no. Okay, fine. Hey, Indiana, how you doing? Hey, we really want to go out with you now. That's okay. I got something with it, but why? Well, you said no, so I moved on. But why? Am I not pretty enough? No, you're ugly as fuck. I mean, you were pretty. Now I saw your true colors. I mean, I hate to say this as a lifelong Bears fan, but I don't think the Bears should play in the city of Chicago or in Illinois anymore after all this. If they get a deal done on some level, I'll still be happy for them to be in Arlington Heights and all that. But on another level, I'm like, you know what? Fuck Illinois. Get out of there. They don't deserve this franchise. They do not deserve the Chicago Bears anymore. They do not. They have lost all claim, as far as I'm concerned, on a certain level to the Bears. You are treating them like an abusive spouse. They are the state of Illinois is the abusive spouse. They're like the guy who beats their wife, and then when she leaves him, he can't figure out why. And then when she leaves him, it's all her fault. Look at the stuff in the media that's coming out with these people in Chicago bashing the Bears and everything over this. Oh, it's all the Bears. The Bears have mishandled this. The Bears have done this wrong. The Bears have done that wrong. Does it sound like who's the abuser here? The Bears or the state of Illinois?
And meanwhile, the outsiders, the bystanders, the people, the witnesses are like, dude, why did you break her jaw? It's like, dude, if she just hadn't burnt that fucking tuna casserole, dude, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think the two things are equal. Like,
nope.
I don't think they're equal.
I'm fed up with this. I'm as I look at my wall of Chicago Bears helmets in front of me that you guys know I have. I'm just like in disbelief, man. Looking at all this history in front of me, these guys like Gale Sayers, Dick Butkus, Brian Urlacher, Jim McMahon, Willie Gault, Lance Briggs, you know, Dan Hampton.
You
Tina
forgot guys from
Koenig.
the 1920s team.
I don't have any. I do have a 1936 throwback signed by a Hall of Famer, though. It is. I got the 1936 throwback by Jimbo Covert signed.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, I got the Johnny Morris on my 100th anniversary mini helmet. Right, great bear. He's played in the '60s as well, like Gale did. But it's just like all this history in the state of Illinois is like, yeah, we don't want you. I mean, that's basically what they're telling this team. We don't want you because we don't want to basically give you a tax rate that's fair, and we don't want to do our job and do infrastructure because we'd rather spend billions of dollars to put people in hotels that are not even citizens of the state, let alone the country.
Yeah,
that's the reality of it. That is a true reality of it. And as much as they say, "Oh, we don't," then why does the state spend billions of dollars to house illegal immigrants, not immigrants, illegal immigrants, in hotels and give them meals and cell phones and basic medical coverage and all these other things they spend all this money on that they say they don't, but it's been well documented even by the own Chicago News that they do, right? We'd rather spend money on people who are going to never make us any money, and instead of I mean,
that's a hell of an olive branch there, Dorn.
No, Dorn, no, thank you. I don't. No. And for me, it's not about the city. Being a Bears fan is not about the city at this point in my life. When I grew up, because they were the team where I grew up, that's how we become fans, right? We grew up in an area where a team was, that's what we grew up with. And back in our day, right? Today, people are fans like the Cubs effect is really happening now across all sports. Because back in the day, you get Cubs fans from like Atlanta. Like, how are you a Cubs fan in Atlanta? Well, I watched them on WGN as a kid, right? That's what you would hear. We grew up as Bears fans, Packer fans, whatever, because, that's what we watched growing up. These kids today, like, look, my son's never lived in Chicago. He's a Bears fan. Why? Because we've watched the Bears every week because we have the ability to do so, right? My grandson is already becoming a Bears fan.
Poor kid.
Good kid. I mean, but so it's not about the city is not what makes me a fan of the team. It's the team. And the city of Chicago needs to understand that people aren't Bears fans just because they're from Chicago. No, we're Bears fans because we're fans of the team, not the city. They're not the one and the same. I can be a fan of the team and hate the city. And right now, I hate the city because of what they've done to the city. I mean, look at. I think that. Well, yeah, they really have for the most part. Urlacher hasn't said anything. Iron Mike hasn't said anything either. Samurai Mike hasn't said anything. McMahon hasn't. Cutler hasn't. I mean, Hester, all those. None of these guys have said anything about it, and I don't think they would as players. The only thing we had is Waddle said, the Bears won't leave Halas Hall. But I tell you what, though, man. Tell me, if the Bears move to Indiana, tell me that Illinois won't become toxic towards the Bears, where they'll end up moving Halas. The way this is looking, if the Bears move to Indiana, I could see the state of Illinois being toxic towards the Bears and doing everything they can to hamper the Bears to the point where the Bears, who just spent $100 million on Halas Hall, refurbs and all that stuff, like in facilities a couple years ago, will just abandon it and move everything to Indiana. I can see that happening, man.
In other news, I saw.
I don't get it, Joe. I just don't get it, man.
Well, now you got a couple weeks to sit here and think about it. But in other news, I saw an article. I don't know if it's clickbait or not, but they said that basically this person said that they spoke to an anonymous NFL GM who said that they would not even sign Tyreek Hill to a veteran minimum contract.
Interesting.
Like, not even the vet min. Like, not forget a deal, forget a long-term deal. They wouldn't even sign him to a 1-year vet min contract. They believe he's washed.
He's kind of like Antonio Brown on some level, right? Tons of skill, like Antonio Brown, a great wide receiver, had all the talent in the world, but was toxic in the locker room in his own special way. And I happen to like Antonio Brown as a person overall. He's not a bad dude, he's an okay guy. Yeah, he's a little eccentric, but he's not a bad dude. I think Tyreek Hill's the same thing. He's kind of a distraction in the locker room because he's got all the baby mama drama. His house burns down, all this other good stuff. The guy's got other dramas around him, right? And then, like, he's not afraid of the media. Look at when he got arrested on the way going to the work and the way he reacted with cops, and gave them all the lip service. And so they arrested him on a very simple traffic stop. He escalated it into something, this big, massive political thing, which it wasn't. So I can see why teams will want to sign him. And plus, the injury he's coming off of, how good's he going to be? I mean... Yeah,
well, keep in mind, this is one supposed NFL GM. I do think there's others that will definitely give him a shot, even if it's a vet min contract. I have a hard time seeing every team in the league pass on him.
I do.
If he's even 60% of Tyreek Hill, he's still a good number 3.
Yeah, hey, Fred, Dorn's right on this one. Terry Arnold is involved in that Florida case. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, someone would take look at Cleveland might take a shot at him after everything's said and done, and he's just sitting there, and like, well, we could use a receiver. He's going to cost $1 million. Yeah, we can cut him whenever we want. Sure, he's throwaway at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it happening. That's the thing with all this whole Bears thing with the stadium. I've even watched the combine, which is probably a good thing because I get tired of watching the combine. However, let me bring up this other thing, Joe, as well, because I think the Tyreek Hill thing. I think you're right. Someone will probably plop a vet minimum down after the draft and everything's over. But the Colts want to move Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson requested a trade from the Colts. And they're saying there's some mutual interest with the Minnesota Vikings. That would just be so Minnesota. We got one quarterback who can't stay healthy. Let's go get another one.
Yeah, and I just if I'm Minnesota, I don't know how that moves the needle at all. Like, he's not even a serviceable backup.
I know. I saw that article. I about died laughing. Like, you got it, and it's credible sources too. That's the thing. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, would they really be that stupid?
That sounds to me like somebody inside the Indianapolis building was like, throwing an imaginary story out there into the ether, like, hey, Minnesota, are you interested? Like, we know you need a quarterback. Like, I can't see any. I don't know. The only way I could see a deal for Anthony Richardson making sense is if there's a team out there that's delusional enough to believe that maybe Minnesota or maybe Indianapolis just didn't develop him properly and that there's still something there that can be salvaged. Like,
injuries are injuries, man. There's no developing around that. The guy's been injured.
Yeah, but even when he was like, when he was playing,
flashes.
You saw flashes, and that's what I'm trying to say is, like, if there's a team out there that's willing to look past the injury history and say there's still a little meat on that bone left, like, I think we could possibly, work with him and turn him into a serviceable backup, or who knows, like, if there's a team out there. But I don't know, man.
Well, there's some other trade news for the Bears, believe it or not. So we don't have to just talk about the Bears stadium woes. So they gave Tremaine Edmonds permission to seek a trade, which makes sense considering he could have been a cap casualty anyways. And look, at teams are inquiring about DJ Moore, Gervin Dexter, and Tyson Bagent. Now, in terms of Dexter, he's in the final year of a rookie deal, so he's gonna be doing an extension. He's been playing well. I think he'll get paid. So there are some Bear fans who think he's worthless, but it's funny because there are some Bear fans that we know who say, "Oh, he's not worth that much. They should get rid of him. They should just cut him anyways." And he'll sign a big contract elsewhere and be a stud, right? We've seen that before. With DJ Moore, though, they said, "Look, we want to keep him. We're at that point where we need to look at all possibilities, and if the price is right, yeah, he's tradable. He's not untradeable, but we want him." So at one point, they're saying we don't want to trade him, but they're saying if you overpay for him and it's worth it to us, you can have him. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird position if you're DJ Moore because the team says they want you, but you're still available. But the cool thing is it's going to take a king's ransom to get you. So maybe that's just lip service to make some of these anti-DJ Moore players.
I don't think there's a team out there that's gonna give a king's ransom for him, especially with that contract. Like his contract isn't. I mean, it's not a Jamar Chase type of contract, but
28 mil, 25 mil.
It's close enough to 30. Like it's still an expensive contract. I mean, it's not. Well, I guess if we put it in the context of like a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson, it's not that bad, and he is under contract for like another 4 years or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there could be a team that's willing to take a chance, but I don't.
Change. It's constant. There's no.
I just don't know if they're going to pay a king's ransom for him. But if I'm the Bears, I wouldn't look to get a king's ransom because you have a first round pick this year in like the 26 range, right? 25, 26, 27, right. Something like that. Like I would just go get me another receiver. I would trade DJ Moore for what I could just to get his money off the books and go get another receiver to pair with Rome. And now you have 2 starting receivers on rookie contracts, like 3 starting receivers, Luther Burden. That's right. You have 3 starting receivers on rookie contracts, like plus a tight end on a rookie contract. Like your whole offense is on a rookie contract. The Nunn guy, like you're looking good all of a sudden, man. Like
I think like I said before, like if he's a part of, let's say, a Max Crosby deal, for example, if it's something of that nature, Myles Garrett deal, like the Bears get Myles Garrett, but we give up DJ and a first round pick, I'm good with that because while I'm losing some value on my offense, I'm gaining a lot of value on my defense to kind of right the ship a little bit, make it a little more even keeled, right? I give the defense what it needed. And my offense is still going to be highly productive. It may not be as productive, but considering how productive the Bears offense, like if you lose DJ Moore, what kind of hit do you take up? Like there's a lot of things DJ does when it's not just catching the ball that helps this offense, right? His blocking, his leadership, stuff like that. But if Rome, a third-year player now, can have that mantle of being the veteran receiver and like you said, we get another receiver, a third receiver, I'd be okay with it. But I think what Foles said is the right way to say it because there are a lot of Bears fans who are unhappy with DJ Moore for whatever stupid reason they have. And I call them stupid reasons because they are. Oh, he gave up on that last play against the Rams. No, he ran the route he was supposed to run. And, the ball was thrown where he wasn't. There was a miscommunication, as cited by Caleb, right? That's not on him. Totally. It's on both of them for not getting their communication straight. Whatever. But DJ does so many things for this team offensively. The Bears, it'd be stupid just to get rid of him because the fans are unhappy. So, okay, we'll say, hey, we want to keep him, but we'll trade him if the price is right. That makes some people happy or feel vindicated in their we got to get rid of DJ Moore argument. But I don't see the Bears trade him unless it's a monster deal for something like a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby or something like that. They're not going to trade him for the third string backup quarterback from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what about, like, for example, the Jets have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years. The Jets need another receiver to go with Garrett Wilson. So you could potentially talk the Jets out of one of those first-round picks, and now you can go get yourself the defensive end that you need, and you can get yourself a receiver to replace him with your first-round pick, or vice versa. Like, either way.
Yeah.
And the Jets, like, they're looking at it as we still have 4 first-round picks. We can still add to the team. We add a quality piece to help Garrett Wilson.
I agree, but for that though, I think the Bears would want the pick and something else of value. And I don't know if the Jets have something else of value because, like, I mean, I like, is he worth just a first round pick in of itself? Yeah, I think they should be able to get it for the Jets. Like, they're giving him a higher round first round pick, like maybe a top 15 pick this year, and a second rounder or a third rounder and something like that might get the needle done in that scenario. But I think the Bears, I think the price being right is where DJ is part of a package for an impact player on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, but to me, I don't see his value as being a first and an additional second. Like, AJ Brown got shipped off for a second round pick, and there's like AJ Brown could likely get shipped off again. I know what you're saying.
I don't disagree with you, but I mean, I think you're right, but they don't want to trade him unless they're getting.
Yeah, you're saying that's the price of that. That's the King's ransom price, basically, is right. Like, we don't want to trade him, but if we are going to trade him, it's going to cost more than just his original value.
Cover fire for not trading him in some ways, I mean, but if they are going to trade him,
that could cost you the deal. If that could cost you the deal, though, Ken, like, think about it. No, maybe you wouldn't, but as an outsider, I would. If I was the Bears, I would call the Jets and be like, "Hey, you got the number 16 pick in this year's draft. You also have the number 2. I'll give you DJ Moore for that 16 pick right now." Like,
but why? I'm not rebuilding. I'm in the window. Why am I shedding pieces when I'm in the window? That's what it's just for Bears fans. I don't get the mentality. It's like, we need to get rid of all these players. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not saying get rid of all these players. I'm saying just one.
Some Bears fans, right? I'm just like, it makes no sense. Like, why would you get rid of DJ for a pick that's a 50-50 chance at best of working out when I've got a proven commodity when I'm in the window? Like, if this were the Bears 2 years ago, like how he was in Carolina, it made sense to trade him in Carolina. You weren't going anywhere. This is a team that's going places. Why would you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. You're not a team in the window or a team that's in the decline. You're neither of those. You're ascending, and he's a key part of that ascension. So why the impetus and it's not just DJ, it's other players, like even Gervin Dexter. Like, give the guy an extension. He's a key piece to this defense, believe it or not. He had a really good, it seems quiet, but if you look at his numbers, they were actually pretty good last year. They were better than the year before. Why would you get rid of Dexter Gervin? Because you know what's going to happen the second you do? Beast mode elsewhere, because then he's going to get the attention from everyone else that he doesn't get here, and he's going to be the same player. But that's like, it's the mentality that some Bears fans and Bears media have every year. How can we trade these guys and get better? Dude, you're in the window, and these are the guys who got you there. And sometimes the guys that get you there don't get to finish the trek. I get that, but unless you're getting the value to replace it now, you're no longer trying to get value for 2 years down the road. You're looking for value now. Mm-hmm. And if you trade them for a draft pick, you're not necessarily getting the value now. It's a 50-50 proposition at best in the draft.
Well, but so allow me to give you the other side of that.
Yeah.
I would argue that you are getting value now, in the sense that if you can get that number 16 pick off the Jets, there are multiple first round receivers in this draft. Like, so your odds of panning out are decent, and you also get to keep your first round pick that you can then use to address a player, to get a player on your defense. Which I think that even though they're both lottery picks, I think that adds value immediately. The fact that you get to address two positions rather than one. Then add this into the fact. The Bears have a lot of guys that they need to re-sign. You're looking at losing Tremaine Edmonds because he's too expensive. You have guys that you have no safeties on your roster at this point. That you have to re-sign them. You don't have a lot of cap space.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and you're gonna you'll take a cap hit, dead cap hit when you trade more too. No, Joe. I mean, look, you're not making. You're making sense. I should say. I was gonna try to word it a different way, but no, your argument makes sense. But once again, though, the hard part is, yeah, that draft pick has a good chance of working out, But you got a guy who does work out now exceptionally well, and your argument's not wrong. It's just like, I don't know. I mean,
no, I get it. Like the Bears had a phenomenal year last year. You finally ascended into a window. And you're more of a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush kind of guy.
Well, I'm like, if I'm going to trade a guy, I need to get immediate impact from a proven commodity and not take a gamble. Like, I take a gamble when I'm not in the window.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I'm in the window, I'm looking for proven commodities, not, let's hope and see this draft pick work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember Kevin White?
Yeah, but there's also the Bears are a relatively, I mean, at least offensively, you're a relatively young team. Your quarterback is young, your tight end is young, your running back is young, your receivers are young, except DJ is not young, but he's not old. He's like, what, 20, 28, 27? Something like that.
I mean, it makes sense.
So the Bears have a chance to be good for a long time, right? Like, that's my thing is, like, why I would be, just me, I'm not saying you, me, I would be more willing to take the risk because I have a young team. Like, I don't think your window is as small as maybe some other teams.
Piece of it makes a lot of sense too, Jill, like you're saying, because we've got other guys who have to sign sooner rather than later. So there is that piece of it too. But like I said, I don't know if I don't know how happy I would be if the Bears just trade him for a first round pick at 16. I don't know how happy I'd be. I get your argument emotionally, not tactically thinking, right? I don't know how happy I'd be. And of course, there's a lot of things you and I don't know, right? And there's that piece of it too, where the Bears, I mean, I'd have to put some faith in the Bears management on that level. And I do have faith in them, don't get me wrong, because Poles is drafted phenomenally. So there is that too. But I think a lot of what they just said on DJ is kind of a smokescreen for some of the fan base who want him gone. But I don't know if the Jets would. I feel sorry for DJ. He finally gets on a winning football team. What they do, they trade him away. I mean, and I think Gervin Dexter they should just re-sign, but they need to re-sign Brisker. They need to re-sign. They need to re-sign some people. They need to re-sign some people for sure. Geez. Hey, first off, Motown, hope you're feeling better because we know you had issues. Secondly, you don't even want to talk. You have no room to talk trash to the Lions fan right now.
The Gary Guzzlers. That's funny. That's pretty funny.
It's funny, but first off, it's not Gary. It's going to be Hammond. Secondly, you have no room to talk in a Detroit Lions fan. And the stuff that you guys are going through with Terry and Arnold and everything else. I mean, that's an organization that's just imploding in front of our eyes a little bit. But Jared Goff's the best quarterback in the NFL. Let me tell you. No, I mean, we're looking this week though with the combine. This is where trade foundations are laid. Hey, anyone know what place the Lions finished in this year?
Hey, so let me ask you this, Ken. Like you just laid the perfect foundation. You said the combine is where trades foundations are laid, right? Yep. So maybe this DJ Moore to the Jets trade doesn't sound so good to you right now, right? But let's say draft night, right? You're at pick 14 or 15 and like a couple of the top receivers are still on the board and the Jets are about to go on the clock. All of a sudden, does that deal look better to you? Like knowing that you can get one of the top potentially 2 or 3 receivers in the draft Does that start to look better to you? Because
So
to
the
me, it
Jets
would.
pick at 2.
And 16. The Jets pick at 16. You can still get a good player at 16. And you have the benefit of there's going to be quite a few offensive tackles that go in the top 10 picks. There's going to be, let's see, defensive players that are going to go in the top 10 picks. So there's not really, like, Carnell Tate will go in the top 10 for sure, I would imagine. He'll be the only receiver that goes in the top 10. But the other guys, like Jordan Tyson, like there's some really good receivers in the draft that might fall into that 15 range just because there's so many defensive players getting taken at the top of the draft.
Yeah, the Bears pick is at 25 right now.
See?
I mean, so being at 16 and 25 is interesting.
Because you could go any way you want with that. At 16, you could either take a receiver or you still have a shot at, like, potentially, let's say, the second best edge rusher in the draft.
I think I'd want to flip 25 and DJ for the 2, and then get my edge, or get, I mean, I think that would make, I would be happier with that. But yeah, I mean,
25 and DJ for the 2. That.
It'd be like the 2 and a third rounder or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I could see something like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think we're going to see some trades coming in the next week or two. And next week, if it's next week when the salary cap comes out, we're going to start seeing signings. I'm hoping we get a press conference to the Bears today saying, hey, we're packing up shop and moving to Indiana. I really hope that happens today, because I'm just tired of this drama, the stadium drama. I mean, it's been great content for us, but as a fan, I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of the state of Illinois dicking this team around. I want the team to move on, and then I want to start working on players. And I think, we're going to start seeing a lot of player movement and stuff happening over the next 2 weeks, because now we're getting ready for the free agency to hit. We're going to get the non-tamper window, then we're going to get the tamper window, then we're going to get free agency straight up, and we're going to get the number for, the new salary cap number. This week, guys, have already been all the GMs are in town. Of course, they're talking about trades. This is why that's one good thing about the combine is all the GMs are there and they're looking at players and they start talking shop and talking trades. The combine, to me, as far as looking at the combine for who we're going to draft. If you don't watch college football like I do, yeah, it's a good first look at a guy that maybe you don't watch college football enough to see. But the teams already have their homework on these guys done. I don't know. I mean, like, for the Jets, though, like, if their quarterback of the future isn't there this year at number 2, right? Then if they want to trade out to the Bears for DJ and we get something of value, I mean, I'm for it. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have some interesting conversations in the next couple weeks, Joe, about this kind of stuff. And as far as DJ, I think part of it's smokescreen.
Well, I could tell you why I'm excited, Mitch, because the Raiders are looking like they're going to get Fernando Mendoza, and whether he's an Andrew Luck type of prospect or not, which odds are he's probably not. He's still better than anything we've had at quarterback for the last 5 fucking years, so I'll take it, dude.
Yeah, and there's some good defensive players in this draft and some good linemen in this draft. I mean, this is not a sexy draft, Mitch, you're right, but there's still a lot of good value in this draft. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but guys, we're about out of time, and have a good weekend. Well, hopefully on Monday morning it's not this stadium thing anymore, and maybe we're getting player movement over the weekend. But enjoy your weekend. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy the warm weather if you're down here in Florida. The rest of you guys, don't worry. The cold weather will leave soon enough. For Ken, Joe, myself, thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you guys Monday. Mitch, good to see you back, man. Hope you stay healthy. We'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend.